Hello, this is Desiree with a voice note for your subconscious mind. Please only listen to this when you're able to allow yourself the time and space to be completely relaxed and undisturbed. And with that, I invite you to begin by placing a hand or two on your heart and closing your eyes and just tune in to your breathing for a few moments. Without altering it, just noticing as you inhale and you exhale this rhythm that you rely upon without even really realizing it sometimes because it's unconscious. But your life began with an inhale and will end with an exhale. And each breath you take is a microcosm of that giant leap across time and space that is life. Inhaling and exhaling, ending and beginning, ending and beginning. Endings are beginnings. And your innate subconscious wisdom understands the necessary perpetual cycles of endings and beginnings. Nothing ever ends without something else beginning. And if you'd like, you may relax your hands down into a comfortable position and allow your eyes to really relax now and roll back in a dreamy way, allowing your subconscious to conjure this scene in your mind as I narrate. It doesn't need to make sense, just let it be a dream that morphs and shapeshifts as the story unfolds. And so in the darkness of your mind, there you are now, suddenly inside the confines of a small one-room cabin. And it might be a little cramped and uncomfortable here, and it might be dark, but that's okay, because it's temporary, and you're going to step out of it for good very soon. But first, just notice what you feel while you're here. Because feelings are gifts and guides, and even uncomfortable feelings show you what you want to change. So notice the feelings that this constrictive space conjures up without even really needing to know what they're about. Just pure feeling. Just feel and note any levels of discomfort. And notice how your body responds to these feelings. How you breathe, the way you hold yourself, any micro tensions that manifest in your joints or muscles. Because discomfort is only a transition point at a place between an end and a beginning. And perhaps if you look around this space, you may even see some representations of the hardships you've endured, whether recent or not. But now, imagine making your way over to the door, opening it up, and stepping out into a beautiful forest. with sunlight streaming down through the canopy of trees. And with whatever air is in your lungs right now, just breathe it all out in a sigh of relief. Imagining this air you exhale manifesting as vapor against the cool air of the forest, as you breathe out any and all feelings of constraint or discomfort. In this momentary alchemy, as you witness the visible evidence of the dispersing of your exhale as it disappears into the atmosphere of the forest. And do that again. Just breathe out any and all feelings of discomfort and constriction now. As the vapors again disappear, dissipate into the air, into the ether. This is alchemy, which is happening within you and around you at every level of nature and existence and plane of consciousness and state of being at all times, like magic. And so let yourself feel lighter and looser now as you take in a deep breath of the clean, fresh air of the forest. And take in a deep breath of the sunlight streaming down through trees. And this forest is what is known as a mixed forest. A mixed forest is a liminal place. These kinds of forests grow at transition points between climate zones. And so this forest is comprised of both deciduous trees and coniferous or evergreen trees. And these trees coexist here in this type of forest, in this liminal place. Some with evergreen branches staggering skyward, and others that have lost their leaves and their rigid, bare branches reach out empty-handed. And as you now walk away from that structure you stepped out of, among the trees, carving a crunchy sounding path through a carpet of fallen leaves on the forest floor, as you contemplate these evergreen trees, never not green. What kind of magic is that? Symbols of never-endingness, to be so stoic and steadfast, seemingly able to withstand anything through darkness and cold without changing their physical appearance. And yet that doesn't mean they remain unchanged. Their changes are just subtle and gradual. And then the deciduous trees, who have shed their leaves in their dramatic decision to just let go. Moving in solidarity with the seasons, knowing everything will come back new and better than before when the time is right and the environment is right, and their outstretched arms appear almost as if they're waiting to receive a gift. Each tree has its own internal, enduring life force that can be depended upon. And as you walk among them, with all of the let-go leaves that crunch beneath your every step, these too are a vital source of nourishment for the forest as a whole. Just as when you choose to let go, you nourish the seedlings of your dreams in the entirety of life that lies ahead of you. And as you move through the trees and crunch through the leaves, further and further away from that structure of constriction and all that it might represent, imagine turning back to see it as it almost gets pulled further back into the landscape, drawn back into the distance. And as time suspends or perhaps accelerates, just allow it to be swallowed up by the wild nature that surrounds it. And now engulfing it in whatever way makes sense or not. That structure becoming nourishment for the forest as you let it go. And you continue walking further and further away from that old site, crunching your way through the leaves and the trees of your imagination. And imagine now holding your hand outstretched as a beautiful pine cone descends from the canopy of trees and lands right there in the palm of your hand. Imagine its texture and weight as it sits in that hand. With pine being one of the most ancient plant species on the planet, the pine cone is the evolutionary ancestor of flowers, with the organization of its spines arranged in perfect sacred geometry. It has held sacred symbolism throughout history in all cultures, mythologies, and religions. This pine cone represents the mystery of what lies beneath all the endings and beginnings, which is the eternity of all that you are, as in the never-ending cosmic being that you are and will always be. You are eternity, comprised of a series of endings and beginnings. And as this pine cone rests in your hand, just dream all of your dreams into it. All of your goals and desires and visions. All the things that you know on some level you're deserving of. Dreaming of what's next. Because dreaming of the future is the easiest way to be at peace with being free of the past. And imagine this pine cone with all of your dreams, goals, and desires, perhaps emitting a glow or a vibration now. And now just imagine pulling it into your mind, into and through that space between your eyes, drawing it back into your mind as your souvenir and eternal enduring reminder as you transit new beginnings. And with that, your forest fades into a memory of a dream, and you're now back in the darkness of your imagination from which all dreams originate and emerge. And so you may now bring your awareness back to your physical body and the surface that supports it, breathing some movement back into your body and opening your eyes up now to the beautiful life that awaits you. Welcome back.